Model T Ford made the trouble, made the people want to go, want to get up and go. 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 14, 22, 23 miles to the county seat.
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
Who's going to patronize a little bitty 2x4 kind of store anymore?
What do you talk? Where do you get it?
Not the Model T at all. Take a gander at the store, at the Modern store, at the present-day store, at the present-day Modern departmentalized grocery store.
What do you talk? Where do you get it? Where do you get it? You can talk, you can bigger. You can talk, you can bigger. You can talk, bigger. You can talk all you want, but different than it was.
No, it ain't, but you gotta know the territory.
Why, it's the You Need a Biscuit made the trouble. You need to put the crackers in the package. The You Need a Biscuit in the airtight sanitary package made the Cracker Barrel obsolete.
Obsolete.
The Cracker Barrel went out the window with the mail pouch covered plug John by the stove. Changed the approach of the traveling salesman. Made it pretty hard.
No, it didn't, but you gotta know the territory.
Gone.
Gone with the hogshead, casket, and Jimmy John. Gone with the sugar barrel, pickle barrel, milk can. Gone with the tub and the pail and the tears.
Ever meet a fellow by the name of Hill?
Hill.
No! Just a minute.
Never heard of any salesman, Hill.
Now, he doesn't know the territory.
Doesn't know the territory.
What's the fella's line?
Never worries about his line.
Never worries about his line.
Or Cracker Barrel being obsolete, or You Need a Biscuit in an airtight sanitary package, or the Model T Ford.
Just a minute.
Never worries about his line.
Never worried about his line.
Or doggone thing. He's just a bangy, billowing, big hog, great going, necker nothing, rip roaring every time a bullseye salesman. Professor Harold Hill.
Tell us what's his line.
He's a fake and he doesn't know the territory.
What do you talk?
He's a music man.
He's a what?
He's a music man, and he sells clarinets to the kids in the town with the big trombones and the rat-a-tat drums and the big brass bass, and the piccolo, uniforms too with the shiny gold ring on the coat and the big red stripe.
Well, I don't know much about bands, but I do know you can't make a living selling big trombone. No, sir. Mandolin pick, perhaps, and here and there a Jew's hop.
No, the fella sells bands. Boys' band. I don't know how he does it, but he lives like a king, and he dallies, and he gathers, and he plucks, and he shines. When the man dances, certainly, boys, what else? The piper pays him. Yes, sir. When the man dances, certainly, boys, what else? The piper pays him.
Yes, sir.
But he doesn't know the territory.
River City, we crossed the state line into Iowa. River City population 2,212. Cigarettes illegal in this state. What?
Well, if you're all through, I'll tell you about Harold Hill.
You really know Harold Hill?
Never seen him in my life, but I know this much. He's given every one of us a black eye. After he's worked the town over, the next salesman to arrive gets automatically tarred and feathered and rode out to the city limits on a rail. You think it's funny? Wait till it happens to you. Your hair never grows back.
Why does he get rolled out of town on a rail?
Because in order to sell band instruments and uniforms and instruction books, he has to guarantee to teach the kids to play.
Well?
And to form them kids into a band with himself as the leader.
Well, what's wrong with that?
He don't know one note from the next. That's what's wrong with that. He can't tell the difference between a bass drum and a pipe organ. Oh, I'll catch up with that swindling two-bit fiddle rigger, and when I do, I am going to squeal on him so loud.
Charlie, you're mad. I sure like to be around when you catch up with that fella.
Well, it won't be on this trip. Not here in Iowa. Even the great Professor Hill wouldn't try to sell them neckbone Hawkeyes out here.
What?
Gentlemen, you intrigue me. I think I'll have to give Iowa a try.
Don't believe I caught your name.
I don't believe I dropped it. Good morning, Dave. Where would I find a good hotel?
Try the Palmer House in Chicago.
Excuse me, sir. Could you kindly direct me? Which way is the center of town? Runs right down the middle of the street. Good morning, Dave. I'm a stranger to your town. What do you folks do around here for excitement?
Mind our business.
Well, you folks certainly do know how to make a body feel at home.
never come. Aunt Bertha never comes.
But your Aunt Bertha's dead?
Oh, that's right. Well, she wouldn't have come anyhow.
So what the heck? You're welcome. Glad to have you with us. Even though we may not ever mention it again. You really ought to get Iowa. Come by Iowa. The beautiful boy in Davenport watches out. Makes it clear that it's clear. I want to give Iowa a try.
Ah, Mr. Squires? Yes, I'm interested in a rig for Sunday if you can accommodate me.
Then I expect you ought to see the man who's in charge of Larry Riggs. Who's late as usual? Hey, Gregory!
Marcellus?
You little son of a gun!
But Greg, Hill's the name. Professor Harold Hill.
Greg, what are you doing here? Why didn't you tell me you was coming?
Well, I didn't know I was myself. Besides, how could I know you'd end up in a little tank town like this? You're a pretty big switcher when you're in business with me.
Too many close shaves the way you were. Besides, I got me a nice, comfortable girl. Ethel Toppelmeyer, boss's niece.
Nah, gone legitimate, huh? I knew you'd come to no good.
So, what's the new pitch? You're not back in the band business. I heard you were in steamed automobiles.
I was.
What happened?
Somebody actually invented one.
No.
So give me a lowdown here, Mars.
Ah, you'll never get anywhere in the band business with these stubborn Adams. Besides, they got a stuck-up music teacher to expose you before you get your grip unpacked.
Male or female?
The music teacher? She's a librarian. Female.
Perfect. That's what I wanted to hear. She passes by, point her out to me.
I will. So, how are you going to start the pitch?
Same old way. Keep that music teacher off balance. And my next step is to get your town out of the serious trouble it's in.
River City isn't in any trouble.
Well, then I'll have to create some. I have to create a desperate need for a boys' band, you remember. And what's new around here? What can I use?
Nothing. Except the billiard parlor got a new pool table.
You've never had a pool table here before?
No, only billiards.
That'll do. See you later, Mars, and don't forget, music teacher.
Music teacher.
Ah, Mr. Dunlop.
Yeah.
Well, either you're closing your eyes to a situation you do not wish to acknowledge, or you are not aware of the caliber of disaster indicated by the presence of a pool table in your community. Well, you got trouble, my friend. Right here, I say trouble right here in River City. Why, sure, I'm a billiard player, certainly mighty proud to say I'm always mighty proud to say it. I consider that the hours I spend with a cue in my hand are golden. Help me cultivate 4 sense in a cool head and keen eye. Never take to try to give an iPad lead to yourself from a 3-rail billiard shot. But just as I say it takes judgment, brains, and maturity to score in a buck-line game, I say that any booth can take and shove a ball in a pocket. And I call that swamp the first big step on the road to the depths of day for day. I say first, medicinal wine from a teaspoon, then beer from a bottle. And the next thing you know, your son is playing for money in a pinchback suit and listening to some big out-of-town jack here and tell about horse race gambling. Not a wholesome trot race, no, but a race where they step down right on the horse. I'd like to see some stuck-up jockey boy sitting on Dan Cap, thinking like Boyle, I should say. You got friends, let me tell you what I mean. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pockets at the table. Pockets that mark the difference between a gentleman and a bum with a capital P, and that marks the P, and that stands for fool. And all week long, in River City, you can be frittering away. They say, your young man will be frittering. Frittering away there, noontime, supper time, chore time, too. Get the ball in the pocket, never mind the dandelion cold or the stream door couch to the beefsteak couch. Never mind pumping water to your parents or pot with a sister empty on a Saturday night and that's trouble. Yes, you got lots and lots of trouble. I'm thinking of the kids in the Knickerbocker, strip-tail young ones. Thinking in the pool hall when they're after school, you got trouble. Folks right here in River City. True with a capital T that rhymes with P, that stands for pool. Now I know all of you folks are the right kind of parents. I'm gonna be perfectly frank. Would you like to know what kind of conversation goes on while they're loafing around that hall? They're trying out Bebo, trying out Cuba, trying out tailor-made like cigarette beans, and bragging all about how they're gonna cover up a telltale breast with sense in one fine night. They leave the pool hall, heading for the dance of the army, libertine men in scarlet linen, and ragtime, James music that'll drive your son, more lovers, the arms of the jungle, animal instinct, mass hysteria. Friends, the Isle of Brave is a devil's playground. Trouble! Oh, we got trouble! Right here in the city! Right here in the city! The capital T, that line of P, that stands for pool! That stands for pool! We surely got trouble! We surely got trouble! Right here in the city! Right here! Gotta figure out a way to keep the young ones moral after school. Our children's gonna have trouble! Mothers of River City, heed that warning before it's too late. Watch for the telltale signs of corruption. The minister's son leaves the house. Does he rebuckle his knickerbockers below the knee? Trouble! Is there a nicotine stain on his index finger? A dime novel hidden in the corn crib? Trouble! Is he starting to memorize jokes from Captain Billy's whiz bang? Trouble! Are certain words creeping into his conversation? Words like swell. Trouble! And so's your old man. Trouble! Well, if so, my friends, we got trouble. Oh, we got trouble. Right here in River City. Right here in River City. Capital T, that rhymes with P, that stands for pool. That stands for pool. We surely got trouble. We surely got trouble. Right here in River City. Right here. Remember the Maine, Plymouth Rock, and the Golden Rule. Our children's gonna have trouble. Oh, we got trouble. We're in terrible, terrible trouble. That came with the 1500 balls of the devil's snow. Devil's snow. Oh, yes, we got trouble, trouble, trouble. Oh, yes, we got trouble. Yeah, we got trouble. With a T.
Exercises.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't remember the library being open last 4th of July.
It was, Mama, all evening. Mama, a man with a suitcase has been following me all over town.
Oh? Who?
I never saw him before.
Did he say anything?
He tried.
Did you say anything?
Mama, of course not. Now don't dawdle, Amaryllis. Sotolare me a little slower, please keep the fingers curved as nice and high as you possibly can. Don't get faster, dear.
If you don't mind my saying so, it couldn't hurt you to find out what the gentleman wanted.
I know what the gentleman wanted.
What, dear?
You'll find it in Balzac.
Well, excuse me for living, but I never read it.
Neither has anyone else in this town.
There you go again with that same old comment about the mentality of River City people and taking it all too much to heart.
Now, Mama, as long as the Madison Public Library was entrusted to me for the purpose of improving River City's cultural level, I can't help my concern that the ladies of River City keep ignoring all my counsel and advice.
But, darling, when a woman has a husband and you got none, why should she take advice from you? Even if you can't do Balzac and Shakespeare and all the other Carpenters and Greeks.
Mama, if you don't mind my saying so, you have a bad habit of changing every subject.
No, I haven't. Amaryllis, Amaryllis. Well, Winthrop,
I'll bet he won't say it. No, thank you, Amarilla. Amarilla! He's crying. Why does he get so mad at people just because he lisps?
It's not only because he lisps. That's just part of it, Amaryllis.
What's the other part?
Never mind, dear. It's just that he never talks very much.
Not even to you or your mother?
No, dear. We all have to be a little patient.
I'm patient, even though he doesn't ever talk to me. But I do him. Every night on the evening star, I say goodnight to him. Good night, Winthrop. Sleep tight.
There, darling. Don't cry. You have lots of time. If not Winthrop, there'll be someone else.
Never. I'll end up an old maid like you. I'm sorry, Miss Marion. Can I play my crosshand piece now?
May I play mine?
May I play my crosshand piece now?
You may.
You see, without a sweetheart, you have no one to say goodnight to on the evening star.
I know, Amaryllis. For the time being, just say goodnight, my someone. You can put the name in when the right someone comes along.
All right, it's better than nothing.
Yes, it is. Now you can play your crosshand piece.
Now I may play my crosshand piece.
now present a patriotic tableau. The members of the school board will not present a patriotic tableau. Some disagreement over the costumes, I suppose. Instead, the Watandee girls of the local wigwam Hiawatha will present a spectacle, my wife. In which my wife, you lady the technician, will take the leading part. Mrs. Shell will recover. No thanks to a certain young ruffian who is a disgrace to our city. Fourscore. The painted fireworks spectacle, the last days of Pompeii, will take place providing that it doesn't rain by 9:30. It'll be out at Madison Picnic Park in the far meadow, across the creek from the Best House.
Now, how can it be raining? Didn't the Gazette predict fair? Sure did, Ewart. That's why we all prepared for a storm.
The Gazette's accurate most of the time, and you know it. You wouldn't last long in the banking business being accurate. Number 8's playing again tonight.
I make her early. Nah, she's late, all right.
She's right on time. What's the matter with you?
Will you members of the school board stop bickering in public?
On the world that I say.
Never mind. Sit down. Fourscore.
We hear there's a pool table in town.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Now, just a minute, just a minute.
Is it a pool table or isn't it?
Will you let me continue with the exercises?
We don't want any more exercises till we get this pool table matter settled.
Let's protect our children.
There.
Resist sin and corruption. Smite that devil and keep our young boys pure. Please, may I have your attention, please? Attention, please. I can deal with this trouble directly with a wave of my hand, this very hand. Please observe me, if you will. I'm Professor Harold Hill, and I'm here to organize a River City Boys Band. Don't think, my friends, how could any pool table ever hope to compete with a gold trombone? Remember, my friends, what a handful of trumpet players did to the famous fabled walls of Jericho. No billiard parlor walls come a-tumbling down. Well, a band will do it, my friends. Oh, yes, instead of boys' bands. You hear me? Then River City's got to have a boys' band, and I mean she needs it today. Well, Professor Harold Hill's on hand. River City's going to have a boys' band. Sure as the Lord made them green apples, and that band's going to be in uniform. Johnny, Willie, Teddy, Fred. And you'll see the glitter of crashing cymbals. And you'll hear the thunder of rolling drums and the shimmer of trumpets. Ta-da! And you'll feel something akin to the electric thrill I once enjoyed. When Gilmore, Liberati, Pat Conway, the Great Creamtor, W.C. Handy, and John Philip Sousa all came to town on the very same historic day. 76 trombones led the big parade with 110 cornets close at hand. they were followed by rows and rows of the finest virtuosos, the cream of every famous band. 76 trombones topped the morning sun, with 110 cornets right behind. There were more than 1,000 reeds springing up like weeds. There were horns of every shape and cut. There were copper bottom, timpani, and horse platoon, thundering, thundering all along the way. Double bell, euphoniums, and big bassoon, each bassoon having its big fat say. There were 50-mounted cannon in the battery, thundering, thundering louder than before. Clarinets and bagpipes, trumpets and improvise a full octave higher than the sky.
so excited since the night that Frank Gotch and Strangler Lewis lay on the mat for 3.5 hours without moving a muscle.
Oh, never mind! I know his credentials! Hey, stop that, Luther! You're
you are Mrs. Shin.
Thank you, Professor. I'm going to make an example of this one. Ringleader, you know. Where he goes, that game follows.
Julie Clyde, let me go.
You wild kid, you hanging around my oldest girl? His father's one of those day laborers south of town. You wild kid, you tagging down Main Street after my oldest girl last Saturday?
I wasn't even tagging.
Boy, don't contradict me.
We was just walking together, Julie Clyde.
You watch your phraseology. I knows what you was doing. My little Gracie seen you. Now you stay away from my oldest girl, or you hear from me to who laid the rails. Hill, I'll talk to you Monday morning about this band thing. Over at City Hall. 10 o'clock sharp. And I want that fellow's references.
Oh, Constable, I'll be responsible for the book.
You don't know this kid. He's a tough one. And he's got his gang waiting for him outside.
Oh, I'll be careful. Tommy, I'd like to talk to you about the band.
Aw, gee, Professor, that's for the little kids.
Well, I'm not talking about you playing in the band. You're mechanically minded, aren't you? You ever do anything with perpetual motion?
Oh, I nearly had it a couple of times.
You did? Well, you're my man. You realize that nobody's ever invented a music holder for a marching piccolo player? No place to hang the music.
Julie Clyde, I wonder where I could get some wire from.
Look in your cellar. That's where people keep wire. Oh, and Tommy.
Yes, sir?
Watch this down the wall so you have to break up again. Miss. Oh, Miss. What's your name?
Zanita, I didn't have any idea you was backing into me. God!
Do you know Tommy Gilas?
Well,
Tommy, this is Zanita. Escort the young lady home.
only excepting I'm not going home. Well, I have to go to the library. You guys!
In that case, escort the young lady home by way of the library, by way of the candy kitchen.
Oh, yes, sir. Do I have to?
You have to.
Yes, sir.
You know, Professor, you seem to be a pretty bright young feller. But you did make a couple mistakes, though.
Oh?
Well, it just so happens that Mayor Shin owns a billiard parlor and that brand new pool table.
Oh. What was my other mistake?
That's Zanita. She's the mayor's oldest daughter.
Just a minute, Professor. We need to see your credentials. We're the school board.
Academic certificate. No, nothing of the kind.
Letters and paper. They can put up a bond.
No, wait,
wait.
You, sir. Yes, safe. Ice cream.
Ice cream. But I don't sing, young man.
All right, talk then.
Down here. Ice cream.
Talk slow.
Ice cream.
See, singing's only sustained talking. Now you.
Ice cream.
And you like ice cream. And you, sir. Ice cream. Ladies, from now on, you'll never see one of these men without the other three.
Oh, you're wrong, Professor. Why, they've hated each other for 15 years.
Ice cream. Ice cream. Ice cream.
How can there be
Any sin insincere? Where is the good in goodbye, in goodbye? Your apprehensions confuse me, dear. Puzzle and mystify. Mystify, tell me what can be fair.
college do they give a degree for annoying women on the street like a Saturday night rowdy at a public dance hall?
Oh, I wouldn't know about that. I'm a conservatory man myself. Gary, Indiana, gold medal class of '05.
Even should that happen to be true, does that give you the right to follow me all around wherever I go? Another thing, Mr. Hill, I'm not as easily mesmerized or hoodwinked as some people in this town, and I think it only fair to warn you that I have a shelf full of reference books in the library, which may very well give me some interesting information about you.
Hey, Greg!
Oh, hi, Marcellus. And don't call me Gray.
How'd you make out with the music teacher?
Scrumptious. Paid out my hand and I tipped my hat.
You did? Boy, you should come swap tonight. I mean, for a minute there, even I thought you knew something about leading a band. Just like when you used to imitate that band fella back in Joplin.
It's kid stuff. I'm in rare form these days. You just keep an eye on me for the next 4 weeks.
4 weeks? But it used to only take 10 days for the instruments to arrive.
Well, it still does, but it takes 4 weeks for the uniforms.
Oh, no, Greg, you haven't added uniforms.
Uniforms and instruction books.
Instruction books? But you can't pass yourself off as any music professor. I mean, for 4 weeks.
Marks.
But you don't know one note from another.
I have a revolutionary new method called the think system, where you don't bother with notes.
But 4 weeks? People don't want to hear music. You'll have to lead a band.
Once the uniforms arrive, they forget everything else. At least long enough for me to collect and leave. Oh, this is a refined operation, son. And I've got it timed right down to the last wave of the brakeman's hand on the last train out of town. Now, Mr. Washburn, you'll excuse me.
Gonna get yourself a little canoeing, eh?
Well, I,
Say, I can introduce you to Ethel's sister. Lovely girl, teaches Sunday school.
Oh, no wide-eyed ear, wholesome, innocent Sunday school teacher for me. That kind of girl spins webs no spider ever. A girl who trades on all that purity merely wants to trade my independence for her security. The only affirmative she will buy refers to marching down the aisle. No golden, glorious, gleaming, pristine goddess. No, sir, for no Diana do I play fawn. I can tell you that right now. I snarl and I hiss. How can ignorance be compared to bliss? I sparkle and I fizz. For the lady who knows what time it is, I cheer and I rave. For the virtue I'm too late to save. Sadder but wiser girl for me. Bright-eyed, blushing, breathless baby doll baby. No, sir, that kind of child ties knots. No sailor ever knew. I prefer to take a chance on a more adult romance. For young Miss Sue keeps resisting. All the time she keeps insisting. No wide-eyed, wholesome, innocent female. No, sir, why she's the fisherman, I'm the fish. You see, I flinch and I shy. When the lights of the delicate air walks by, I smile and I grin. When the gal with a touch of sin walks in, I hope and I pray for Hester to win just one more aid. Sadder but wiser girl's a girl for me. The sadder but wiser girl for me.
Professor Hills, we're all agog, simply agog.
We're so excited about the band.
I'm Ethel Toppelmeyer, the piano girl.
And this is Mrs. Squires and Mrs. Hicks. And of course, you know you lady, the technician, our mayor's wife. Isn't it exciting, you lady?
I couldn't say. I could not say. Oh no, I couldn't say at this time. My husband will wish to investigate, I'm sure. And naturally I'm reticent. Oh yes, I'm reticent.
Of course, Mrs. Shin, I understand. But you see, part of my music plans call for a committee on the dance, and... Wait. Do that again, Mrs. Shin. Your foot, the way you raised it just now.
I have a bunion that bothers me.
Oh, what grace!
Oh.
What natural flow of rhythm! What expression of line and movement!
Oh, Mr. Hill.
You simply must accept chairmanship of the Ladies' Auxiliary for the Classic Dance. Doesn't she, ladies?
Oh, yes, it
Every move you make, Mrs. Shin, bespeaks Del Sarte. Will you? Will you? Say yes, Mrs. Shin.
You lady McKechnie Shin. I mean, dancing.
Then you accept?
Yes. And I'd like to say that
Thank
Madison, huh?
That miser Madison?
Exactly. And who did he think he was, anyway?
Well, I should say, show off. Gave the town the library too, didn't he?
That's just it. When he died, he left the library building to the city. But he left all the books to her.
She was seen going and coming from his place.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. That woman made brave opportunities. Just make it up and make it feel all away. Nothing still here. The world is hard to
It's all right. I know everything and it doesn't make any difference.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, you were probably very young. Anyone can make a mistake.
What?
No apologies, no explanations, please. I'll only be in town a short while, and the sadder but wiser girl for me.
Will you please make your selection and leave?
I have.
Well, what would you like to take out?
The librarian.
Quiet, please.
The librarian. You're not listening, Marion. Look. Marion. Marbles. 6 steelies, 8 haggies, a dozen kiwis, and 1 big glassy with an American flag in the middle. I think I'll drop them.
No!
Madam Librarian. Well, what can I do? My kid, to catch your ear. I love you madly, madly, Madam Librarian. Marion, heaven help us if the library caught on fire and the volunteer homes brigade men had to whisper the news to Marion. Madam Librarian. What can I say? My dear, to make it clear, I need you badly, badly, Madam Librarian. Marion, if I stumble and I busted my whatchamacallit, I could lie on your floor unnoticed till my body had turned to Marion. Madam Librarian. Now in the moonlight, I'll never sing it. In the moonlight, and a fellow would know that his daughter had read every word of his song with the moonlight helping along. But when I try to tell you did, I love you madly, madly, Madam Librarian. Marion, it's a long lost cause I can never win, but it's still I Madam, my bride. Brienne. talking out loud within librarians such as that. Real ladies dance committee meets Tuesday nights. Madam Librarian. Brienne. Marshmallow. Sales out of 12 tries. Tell you what, it's almost noon. You go home and get some dinner. I'll try a couple by myself.
Goodbye, Professor.
Thanks, Tommy.
Just a minute here. Are you soliciting? You haven't got a license. Soliciting is statutory in this county. Malfeasance without a permit. And why haven't you been down to City Hall with your references?
Well, I just missed you. Wait, Mr. Mayor, your hand.
What? What?
That spread of the little finger. That's hereditary.
It is? What does that mean?
Well, it means that your son's little finger is perfectly situated to operate the spit valve on a B-flat flugelhorn.
Is that good?
Good? Why, it means that America has at last produced an artist who can flugel the minute waltz in 50 seconds.
Wow. Wow. How can I get one of them horns?
Just sign here, Mr. Mayor. That'll be $17 import fee.
Just think I could have missed this whole... I haven't got any son! Why, you and Stripeless flew by night, you unflew... Give me down to City Hall with your bodyguard papers at 3 o'clock.
You mean this afternoon?
I couldn't make myself any plainer if I was a Quaker on his day off.
Mrs. Peru, do you realize that you have the facial characteristics of a cornet virtuoso?
I don't know if I understand you entirely, Professor.
Well, if your boy has that same firm chin and those splendid cheek muscles, by George, nothing could ever be truly great, you understand.
Oh, is that so? And in the name of St. Bridget, why not?
Well, all the truly great cornet players were Irish. O. Clark, O. Mendez, O. Klein.
But Professor, you're Irish.
No, really. Well, that punches it, Mrs. Peru. Your boy was born to play the cornet. Sign here. Fine, that'll be $7 import fee. Nothing more due until the first installment table at opening of band practice. Thank you. And of course, I'll need the boy's measurements for his band uniform.
His uniform?
Well, hello, son. Well, certainly his uniform. And there won't be a penny due until delivery, which gives you 4 weeks to imagine, to anticipate, and enjoy. Never let the demands of tomorrow interrupt the pleasures and excitement of today.
What if have
A stripe? Well, certainly, my boy, a wide red stripe on each side. What do you think of that?
Oh, you'll have to excuse Winthrop, Professor. We can't get him to say 3 words a day even to us. And if you could get him to play in that band, you'll have St. Michael's away with you. But if anyone could do it, I'll bet you can. Out of a crowd, I'd pick you for a hod-carrying, clay pipe smoking, shamrock wearing, harp playing, mammoth pigeon, tenor home, minstrel singing Irishman. They gotta be jealous. Where are you from, me boy?
Gary, Indiana.
I knew it! Gary! Where did you say?
Gary, Indiana. In fact, Gary Conservatory was my alma mater.
Oh, was she now?
Well, yes. Gold medal class of '05. How to do, Miss Peru?
How to do, Mr. Hill?
Of course. Peru. I thought the name sounded familiar. I tried to see you.
He wants to put Winthrop in the band.
We're not interested, Mom.
But Vivian, the boy might have his father's musical gift. He does have my charm, you know.
Oh, your husband musical. Well, I'd like to have a talk with him. I'm
Do
sure
you burst in on everyone's home like this, prying into personal affairs? We're not interested.
Marion!
Well, that's 1 for and 1 against. Why not let the boy's father decide?
The boy's father is dead. Anything else?
Oh, I'm sorry. But that's all the more reason why your brother should have something
My
like this.
brother is a 10-year-old problem child who can't understand why his father was taken away. Would you care to explain it to him? He's been brooding about it for 2 years. As to your musical tricks, why don't you go into business with some nice carnival man who sells gold-painted watches and glass diamond rings?
Musical tricks? Why, Miss Peru, I think she likes the idea. Oh, a little cautious, perhaps, but I admire that in a woman. You just keep me alive, and I'll be back later in the week.
Oh, Professor, about the boy's measurements, I make all his clothes myself. It's sleeve 22, waist 18, cloud 14.
Fine. That's all I need. Now, I really must get back to the hotel.
Oh, Professor, I do hope you'll excuse Marion. She's not...
Oh, please, don't worry about a thing. I'm sure that at heart, she's as lovely a woman as yourself. Good day to you, Widow Peru.
Has he gone?
He has. And I hope not forever. Darling, don't you ever think about your future? Gary, Indiana, conservation class of art pride. Now, darling.
Now, Mama, surely a girl's future doesn't depend on encouraging every fast-talking, self-centered, woman-chasing interesting traveling man who comes to town. And the fact that he claims his commodity is music does not, in this particular case, impress me.
All right, darling, all right. Only it's a well-known principle that if you keep the flint in one drawer and the steel in the other, you'll never strike much of a fire.
Mom! Winthrop? Winthrop, I know you're there. Please go to the library and ask Miss Grubb to give you the book I set aside. It's the Indiana State Educational Journal, 1890 to 1910. It's a large brown volume with black corners.
Do I have to?
You won't have to talk to anyone. I've written it all down. Thank you, dear.
Now, what are you up to? Why do you need books at this hour of the night?
I have a feeling the Indiana Journal may help me poke some large holes in the professor's plans.
I give up. At your age, if you don't mind my asking, what sort of a white knight do you expect to come riding along?
Well, I'm not waiting for Luther Griner, who backs me into the ancient history shelf every time he comes into the library.
He does?
Or Ed Gammett in that buggy of his with a removable back seat. But I'm not waiting for a man in shining white armor either.
My business has fallen off so far,
time to read a little bit about the conservatory, you won't have to look further. It's on page...
Oh, like this story at this hour of the day? Nonsense. The Wells Fargo wagon. The Baird instrument.
Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is a-coming down the street. Oh, please let it be for me. Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is a-coming down the street. I wish I knew what it could be.
I got a box of maple sugar on my birthday.
In March, I got a great Mackinac.
At once I got some grapefruit from Tampa. Montgomery Ward sent me a bathtub and a crosscut saw.
Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is a-coming now. Is it a pretty big surprise for COD?
It could be funny, morticious, or a double boiler.
Yes, it could be. Yes, you're right. It surely could be. Something very, very special now.
Just for me.
Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is a-coming down the street. Oh, don't let it pass my door. Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is a-coming down the street. I wish I knew was coming for.
I got my salmon from Seattle last September.
And we expect a new rocking chair.
I hope I get my raisins from Fresno.
The DAR sent the cannon for the courthouse square.
Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is a-coming now. I don't know how I could ever wait to see. It could be something for someone new. I don't really sure what it could be. Something special, just for me. My cornet! Gee, thanks, Professor.
Kids, you will each receive individual instruction in due course. In the meantime, stay off the streets, get acquainted with your instruments, and think about the minuet in G. La-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da.
Sister, isn't this the most structured spelling book that you ever saw? I never thought I'd see anything so structured as this structured spelling book thing. Oh, sister.
Proud wife for you, Mr. Hill. But I better hear some fine God tooting out of them horns in pretty short order, or I'll see you in front of the grand jury over at the county seat. And now, Miss Marion, about that book.
Come on, George, let's dispute it.
You watch your phraseology. You can get along if you want to. I've got to get something from the librarian. About that book. Yeah.
Ladies' Dance Committee meets Tuesday nights.
I ever catch you touching my daughter, a bygone horsewhip you till hell won't have it again.
Now, George!
Not one poop out of you, madam.
I think he means Pete.
Yes. Now you get out of this public place.
I have just as much right in this public place as anybody.
Right. How do you get any right around here? Aiding and abetting the swindling activities of that spellbinding symbol salesman. You know what I see written all over your face? Reform school. Now get out, you wild kids, you.
Papa, please! Well, it's Catholics like you that make blood in the marketplace! God!
You watch your phraseology, young woman. Go home. You there.
Yes, George, I only
You
want
tend to your dance.
Oh, my dance!
I'll handle this. They're taking up with wild kids from the wrong side of town.
Mr. Mayor, if I could just make you understand.
Well, you can. By the way, thanks for nothing. I read that book you gave me from cover to cover for a whole week now, and I ain't buying the thing.
Mr. Mayor, if you please.
I'll settle your hash as soon as I get these premises off my oldest girl. Yeah.
Well, all right. In the meantime, I want you to know that I'm vouching for Tommy Gillis. That boy's got the confidence of every kid in town. He'll be standing in line waiting to shake his hand by the time our band plays its first concert.
By the time your band plays its first concert, the individual members will have to foregather in wheelchairs on account of the broken legs they'll get from tripping over their beers. Let me tell you something, my fine feathered young, my young feathered, oh, never mind. Oliver, Casey, you're over. I've got that fellow's references and I want him tonight. Don't let him out of your sight. He's slipperier than a Mississippi sturgeon.
You mean you want us to get his credentials?
Get his papers or get him in jail. I couldn't make myself any clearer if I was a button hook in the well water.
Professor Hill, I think Mayor Shin has behaved abominably, and I think it was wonderful of you coming to Tommy's defense.
Oh, that was nothing.
Yes, it was.
Oh, no. Man can't dodge the issue every time a little personal risk is involved. What does the poet say? The coward dies 1,000 deaths, the brave man only 500? Unfortunately, the mayor was already pretty upset on account of his billiard parlor now. I suppose a recommendation from a musical authority such as yourself would help, but nope, I couldn't ask you to do a thing like that.
Why, Professor Hill,
You would?
I'd be glad to. I just wish I was a little more informed. I've been wanting to talk to you about Winthrop's cornet.
His cornet, mother of pearl keys.
I'm sure it's fine, but you see, he never touches it. Oh, the first week or so, he made a few, experimental flats, I guess you'd say.
Yes, flats.
And he sings almost constantly. The minuet in G. Da-dee-da-dee-da-dee-da-dee-da.
La-di-da.
But he never touches the cornet.
Well, you
He
see,
says you told him it wasn't necessary.
well,
He tells me about some think system. If he thinks the minuet in G, he won't have to bother with the notes. Now, Professor.
Now, Miss Marion, the think system is a revolutionary method, I'll admit. But so was Galileo's conception of the heavens, Columbus's conception of the egg, globe, Bach's conception of the well-tempered clavichord. Now, I cannot discuss these things here in public, but if you'll allow me to call. When may I call?
Why, any night this week.
Just a minute, Professor. We've got our orders.
We've all been deputized.
That's right.
Hell, yes. Congratulations. Now, let's see. For a while now, I've tried to give you fellows my references and credentials, but somehow or other, you always get off the subject. Now, I've got just what you want in my hotel. Just take me a minute.
No. We are going to have to go with you.
Well, certainly. You just make sure I have my key. Oh. What's this? Why, it's a testimonial from Madame Rini, the only female bassoon player ever to play the Redpath circuit. Her stage name, of course. She was from Moline. Lida Rose Quackenbush.
Could I see that paper for just a minute, please?
Oh, you can't forget the name, Lida Rose. Just like the old song. Lida Rose, I'm home again, Rose.
To get the sun back in the sky. Lida Rose, I'm home again, Rose. About 1,000 kisses shy. Ding dong ding, I can hear the chapel bell chime. Ding
around here somewhere?
The Shin home is on East Elm. This is West Elm.
Oh, criminy! Say, I see you're the piano teacher in town. You must know about this fella Hill forming a boys band here?
Yes.
Well, don't let it worry you no more. I got the goods on him in spades. Swindling two-bit thimble rigger. But that's why I got to see Shin. I'm just passing through. Number 8 only makes a 15-minute water stop. Wish it was 20. I'd sure like to concentrate 5 minutes on you, girly girl.
Who are you?
Name's Charlie Cowell. Anvil salesman. But just now I'm out to protect the good name of the traveling fraternity from this swindler.
Mr. Cowell, you're making a big mistake.
Mistake? My old lady's corset covered. That fella's been the raspberry seed to my wisdom tooth just long enough. He spoiled Illinois for me. He's not going to spoil Iowa. Say, what kind of music teacher are you? You didn't see through him? He's no more professor
I
than...
know all about that. Band leaders are always called professor. It's a harmless deception. He's a fine director, and his
Now,
scholastic...
just a minute. Fine director? Have you heard one note of music out of any band?
No, but...
But nothing, girly girl. He never formed a band in his life, and he never will.
If you'll just listen to me for a minute.
Oh, I'd like to. I'd like to do more than that, if I had the time. I sure got the inclination. But I gotta get back on that train, and I gotta leave this dynamite with somebody on the way to the depot. Bye, girly girl. See you next time through.
You'll never make that train to the depot. You'll have to catch to the crossing.
No, sir. I've got to leave word, and I can see you ain't the one to leave it with.
Just a minute, Mr. Cowell. You don't know me yet.
Is that an invitation?
No. I meant, I don't know you.
Yes, and I need more time.
I mean as well as I'd like to.
No trouble there, girly girl.
I've never met a man who sells ambulance. That's really, well, quite different.
Well, it takes a real salesman, I can tell you that. Ambulances have a limited appeal, you know. Say, what am I doing? I missed that train and I'll lose my job. And I got to leave word about that fella Hill.
Leave word with me.
Not on your tin type. How do I know you deliver these letters?
Try. There's your train. Now run for it.
Why, you double-dealing little... Who do you think you're protecting? That guy's got a girl in every county in Illinois, and he's taking it away from every one of them. And that's 102 counties. Not counting all the piano teachers like you. Cozies up to keep their mouths shut. Neither one of you's heard the last of me, girly girl.
Rose, I'm home again, Rose, without a sweetheart to my name. Good evening, Miss Marianne. Light a rose on every rose that I am home.
Oh, Professor Hill.
Mrs. Peru, top of the evening. Miss Marion?
I don't know you went there and come and sat for a while. I've got some jelly on the stove.
There's no jelly on the stove, Mama.
Well, then I'll put some on.
Shall we set, as your mother said?
Well,
You did ask me to call.
did I? I didn't mean anything.
Now, Miss Marion, I didn't mean to suggest that your invitation inferred anything other than academic enlightenment. The think system? I've been by your house to try to explain it to you a couple of times, but there always seem to be people around. Mostly ladies, I think.
Yes, Mrs. Squires and several of the ladies.
I'm glad. I wouldn't want anybody beating my time.
Oh, you wouldn't?
Well, no. Well, it's evidently not the convenient night. I'll see you at the sociable later.
Professor Hill, is it true that you've had 100...
Yes.
What I'm trying to say is it really true that you've developed a think system?
A what? Oh, a think system. Well, yes. It's really quite simple as whistling. Nobody has to tell you how to use your lips when you whistle, do they? You just think a tune, and it comes out here. Now, try this yourself before you ask me more questions.
I take your word.
Could we sit down?
Are all music teachers as dense as I am?
All music teachers?
I dare say you meet dozens, even 100.
Well,
Have they all been as fascinated as I have with the think system?
some more, some less. One young lady had thought of the exact same system before I came to her town. She showed me a few refinements.
I see.
Have I said something wrong?
Please don't let me keep you, Professor Hill. You must have many more important things to do than to explain the think system to me.
Can't think of a one.
And I must be very dull company for a man of your experience.
Now say, where did you get an idea like that?
One hears rumors of traveling salesmen.
Now, Miss Marion, you mustn't believe everything you hear. After all, one also hears rumors about librarians.
I suppose you're referring to Uncle Matty.
Uncle Matty?
Mr. Madison, my father's best friend. Remember what they say, he left me in a short job so that Mother and Winthrop and I would have some security. Surely you don't believe
Well,
it.
no. But that's exactly what I'm saying. Why do you think people start those rumors?
Narrow-mindedness? Jealousy. Jealousy mostly.
Exactly. And jealousy mostly starts rumors about traveling salesmen. What have you heard?
Nothing about you personally, just generally.
What have you heard generally?
Just that... Well, of course. It stands to reason that disappointment and jealousy can lead to, well, I mean, take you, for instance, and your attentions to customers, and, well, teachers might easily be misinterpreted. I mean, now, honestly, mightn't they?
Well, I
So
suppose...
you say if another salesman or somebody were jealous, I mean, they could be downright lies, couldn't they?
What could?
Rumors and things. Just proves you should never believe everything you hear, doesn't it? I mean, if you discuss things.
Miss Marion, I would be happy to discuss anything in the world with you, but couldn't we just do it sitting down? You do sit. Your knees bend and all.
We could sit on the porch.
We could also sit on a hollow log over the footbridge.
I couldn't think of it. I've never been to the footbridge with a man in my life.
Just to talk.
I've better dress for the sociable.
Then meet me there in 15 minutes.
I just can't. Please. Some other time. Maybe tomorrow.
My dear little librarian, I'll open up tomorrow's and you'll find you collected nothing but a lot of empty yesterdays. I don't know about you, but I'd like to make today worth remembering.
So would I.
The footbridge, 15 minutes.
15 minutes. Mama! What? I just told Professor Hill I'd meet him at the footbridge in 15 minutes.
The learning me in the sense with brains and words.
What does?
The think system. I've been using on you for a couple of years.
Great. The uniforms arrived. The kids are in them already. People are going to want to hear music if those kids show up at the social bowl. Here's most of the dough. I got Tommy to collect it. He's at least trying to keep the kids together, pretending the whole practice over at the lumber yards.
All right, Marcy, you get the rig.
I got it.
Hey, what time's the freight bill?
9:40 from the junction.
It's not even 8:30 yet.
Look, you want to turtle whirl around here, get yourself caught in a bunny trap, you go right ahead.
But
But
don't
I'm...
worry, Marcy, I'll meet you at the hotel in plenty of time. I got one more sale to make.
What?
Listen, Buster Brown, I've come up through the ranks on this skirmish, and I'm not resigning until I get my commission.
But Greg, you can't get anywhere out here on a footbridge.
The place over at Madison Park near the sociable makes this footbridge look like an old lady's home. Now beat it. Go get the rig. Miss Mary? I meant, I'd say about 26 years later. Took you all this time to get to the footbridge with a fella.
If you want to know the truth, it was almost longer.
Oh?
Halfway here, I nearly turned back. I suppose I'm not the first to find it easier to think clearly when not under the spell of your salesmanship.
Now, Miss Marion, certainly don't think I've been trying to sell you anything.
No, you've given me something. That's why I decided to come.
I don't recall giving you.
Oh, yes, you have. Something beautiful. That's why I came, and I'm glad. Oh, please don't be afraid that I expect too much more. One can't expect a traveling salesman to stay put. I know there have been many ports of call, and there will be many more. But that's no reason for me not to be grateful for what you really left behind for me.
Marion.
No, you don't. Or ever for that matter, Harold. The librarian hasn't felt much like doing research lately, but she did plenty when you first came here.
Oh? About what?
About Professor Harold Hill, Garrick Conservatory Music, gold medal class of Lot 5. Harold, there was no Garrick Conservatory in Lot 5.
Well, there certainly was.
Because the town wasn't even built till Lot 6. I'll see you at the social.
You knew all the time?
Since July 7th, 3 days after you came here. I tore this out of the Indiana Journal. It was originally intended to be used against you. But now I give it to you on my heart.
But if you knew, why... Why, little. Well, 110 cornets played the air. Then I modestly took my place as the one and only bass, and I moved part up and down the square. With 110 cornets right behind. There were homes of every shape, Good night, my someone. Good night.
This guy's crazy. He's going all over town spilling everything.
I'll say I'm crazy, missed my train, probably lost my job. But I got you now, Hill, and you'll pay. Oh, you'd be in the clink right now if it hadn't been for that Diana teacher. Oh, I'd tell her all about you. What does she do? Literally gags me around till I couldn't get to shin. Little dried up man, how you stupid!
You get out of here.
Bully!
You get out of here
You
right now,
big
I swear.
slob! I'll stay in this town until you get yours. Up, down, through, and sideways. Why? You never even knew the territory. Ow.
I got your stuff. Come on, Greg, let's jump. Greg, hurry up.
Listen to this band.
You gullible green grass goats! Can't you get it through your head you're being swindled out of your eye teeth right now? This minute? There's a burglar in the bedroom while you're fiddling in the parlor. I am talking about Harold Hill, road agent, highwayman, pickpocket.
Pickpocket?
Same thing. He's had his hand in your wallet, mister. And yours, madam. And yours too, little lady. From the very first moment he arrived in this town. Why, there is more documented evidence than you'll ever have time to read. There isn't any band. There never has been any band. And there never will be any band. And if you don't hunt this man down right now like a mad dog, there won't be any Harold Hill either. He'll be on the next train out of town.
Now, do you believe me?
Well, what are we waiting for?
Money back, I want his eyes.
All right, find out. When you find it, bring it back here. Find it.
Mary! Mary, where have you been? I'm looking all over for you.
I've been looking for Winthrop. He's run away. Please go. Please, Harold. They're even talking about Tarn.
Greg! He's not over here. Let's look over by the creek.
Hold on a minute there, son.
I'm not your thumb. Let me go.
Not till I talk to you for a minute.
I won't listen. You won't tell me the truth anyway.
I would too.
Would not.
I would too. I'll tell you anything you want to know.
Can you lead a band?
No.
Are you a big liar?
Yes.
Are you a dirty, rotten crook?
Yes.
Leave me go, you big
Well,
liar.
what's the matter? You wanted the truth, didn't you? Now, I'm bigger than you. You're going to get it all, so you might as well quit wiggling. All right. Now, there's two things you're entitled to know. The first is you're a wonderful kid. I thought so from the first. That's why I wanted you in the band, so you couldn't moping around feeling sorry for yourself.
What band?
Well, I was thinking of the band, kid.
What's the other thing I'm entitled to know?
Well, The other thing's none of your business now that I think about it.
I wish you never come to River City.
No, you don't, Winkle.
Sister, you believe him?
I believe everything he ever said.
But he promised us.
I know what he promised us. And it all happened just like he said. The lights and the flags and the colors and the symbols.
Where was all that?
And the way every kid in this town walked around here all summer. And looked and acted. Especially you. And the parents, too. Does Mama wish she'd never come to River City?
Well, you do, don't you?
No, Winkle. Now go, Harry, please.
Go on, Professor, hurry up.
I can't go, Winter.
Why not?
For the first time in my life, I got my foot out the door. There was love all around, but I never heard it sing. No, I never heard it at all. So there was you.
Get up there!
Now settle down. Rest assured that this stake in our bosom would have been misapprehended by this time. Yes. And always remember, fellow River Citizens, I can only remind you that I did everything in my power to prevent this dire happening from happening. Fourscore!
What have you done to get our money back?
That professor collected nearly $300 for uniforms just tonight.
We haven't even seen any uniforms yet.
He's slippery, I told ya.
Any uniform or McCoy either. Comes just after supper. He's a kidnapper.
That's right. Fourscore! Jessica! Virtue has triumphed. The sword of retribution has cut down Professor Harold Hill. And if there are those, as I have heard, who are melting tar and collecting feathers, I will not say them nay.
Well, I should think there ought to be some of you who could forget our everlasting Iowa stubborn, chip on the shoulder arrogance long enough to remember River City before Harold Hill arrived. Do you remember? Well, do you? Surely some of you ought to be grateful to him for what he's brought to River City. And if so, I should think you'd want to admit it.
We're wasting a great deal of time here. If there's a person in this place who doesn't think that this man Hill should be tarred and feathered, let him stand up now. You lady, sit down! And the rest of you, standing there like a coat of Shropshire sheep. Have you people forgotten how you bought expensive uniforms, technical instruction books, and high-priced band instruments? Have you forgotten the clear understanding and warranty that your children would be taught to play in a band? Huh? Well, where's the band? Where's the band?
Think, kids. Think.